So this place of mystery, deception, wealth, disfigurements, murder, death, just all of the above. Newgate Prison, located in East Granby, Connecticut. The place is very interesting. It's full of history. Tons of stuff happened there, but it wasn't always a prison. It was an empty field before, and it was a mine later on. And then it was a prison. I have a gentleman named Wally who pretty much explained absolutely everything that there needs to know about this place. Very informative guy. The guy's a really nice person. Give you a shirt off your back, off of his back, maybe everybody else's back. I'm not sure which back we're talking about here. Great guy. Okay, so I wasn't looking for it, and I really honestly didn't have an idea. Supposedly Newgate Prison is haunted, from some of the stories that I've read online. I wasn't going that route with my video. I just wanted to show historical monuments and history and places to go with your family. Newgate Prison was one of them. Well, as I was going over my footage, I came across a questionable part of my video. And I'm not claiming anything at all, but I do see something. Whether it's a reflection or not, I'm not sure. I've been trying to debunk it, and I have not been able to. I also went back there at night around 8:20 and did some footage that I didn't have before. So what I wanted to do was get some footage on behind the building and everything. And I actually heard something on my camera. Again, I'm not claiming anything. My wife was with me, but she was further back. It was kind of interesting, a little bit creepy, and it does sound like a woman's voice, but I know for a fact it wasn't my wife. I mean, it could have been a specific noise or whatever, but I swear it wasn't any of us. So, as I was saying before, Newgate Prison filled with mystery. And is it haunted? I'm not sure, but you be the judge. I will show you exactly where they are on my film.
when you walk through that gate over there, you essentially walked from, what are we, 2018 to 1707. Now remember that the Pilgrims came over to Plymouth in 1620, and 87 years later, they knew that there was copper in this area. The native people had copper, but the native people didn't so much like the settlers and vice versa. There were wars and all that, so they kept it secret. But right around here, they sort of knew there was copper. By here, I mean 5 miles down and 5 miles up. Rocks that were sort of, well, can you see the stain up there? That is malachite, which is a copper salt. Just like iron oxide is called rust. So when you look at rust, it's brown. But when you look at iron, it's silvery colored. So if you remove the rust, you're down to the bare metal. So that is what has to get reduced into the copper. Simsbury, this was Simsbury back in the 1700s. So what they did is they bought this land and they started going down. And the deeper you go, the better the quality of the ore, the more copper. And they got down to where it's like really pretty good. And then they started going horizontally. And you've seen the map over there showing the different tunnels and all that. So it worked good for several decades. Then it started getting to be not so lucrative. You spend hours pounding, you get a bucket full of stuff. Back before the revolution, everything out here had to go to England to be smelted to get the copper out.
Really?
So these things here were smelters. These are after the War of 1812. So if you came here in 1707, you would see grass and trees, and if you walked over there, you'd see a hole 3 feet in diameter. And it got deeper and deeper and deeper. Must have been a wonderful job. You know, climb down the ladder 20 feet, whack, bend over and whack at the stuff under you. Anyhow,
how deep did they go, do you know?
Well, under the wall here, it's 80 feet deep. There it's about 35 feet deep, and it slopes down. So I hope you can come back when the mine is open in July. It'll be, what, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all summer. So pretty much they did mining until the Revolutionary era, at which point they said, we need a place to put prisoners. There were no prisons in the colonies. So let's say you're a bad guy. I'll make you a good guy. I'm a bad guy, I stole your horse. So you take me to court or whatever. They didn't have courts and all that, but they had like town committees, and you convinced them I stole your horse. So what they would do, they couldn't put me in jail, they didn't have jails. So they would cut my nose, they would cut my ear, you know, like take a slice out, or they would brand my forehead. Which pretty much says, don't hire this guy as a babysitter or a bank guard. Not a savory fellow. Okay, so when the war came, the Continental Congress knew they're going to have, I'm not allowed to say Tories, so I'll say loyalists who were sympathetic to Britain. And what they did is they got their property seized sometimes if they were strong supporters of the crown, and they got put in the mine. And originally they said, ooh, let's have them do mining. So you're a Tory prisoner, right? So I'm going to give you a hammer and a chisel, and I don't think so, because you can use the hammer and the chisel for hurting me, for hurting other prisoners, or for making another tunnel to go out. So they stopped that very quickly. They smartened up. So what did they do? They had them in this spot, 30 by 40. They made nails. A special kind of nail called a wrought nail, which bends. So if you wanted to put a hinge on a door, you hammer the wrought nail in it and then fold it over. And it holds. Whereas with the cut nails that were made, you still make cut nails today, they're very good for masonry and rock, but if you try to bend them, they break. So the right around here is a sign about the wonderful old Newgate wrought nails made like a blacksmith would hammer it with steel. So for 54 years, this was a horrible, horrible prison, and people escaped like crazy. They bribed guards, and they do murders and all kinds of stuff. And then in 1827, they moved all the prisoners from here to the new one in Wethersfield. And during that time, as the prison evolved for 54 years, they didn't have any kind of walls. Then they put up a wooden wall with stakes, so if you climbed it, you can impale yourself. And or at least it would slow you down.
Yep.
And then this 15-foot wall here. So in 1707, it would have just been a field with a big hole. And I'm sure they had flashing lights, you know, danger, construction site.
Yeah.
They had attorneys there.
Of course.
Here's a card, you know, if you fall in.
Yeah, we were down.
What was the name of the cells?
You know what? I don't even know.
Jug cells.
Jug
J-U-G. Until last week, I didn't know the answer. I'm going crazy. I'm training to do what I do now all
Right.
summer. And I said, jug cells. They're not shaped like a jug. Turns out there's a Swedish word called jog, J-O-U-G.
Okay.
And it kind of means several things. Either a pillory,
Right.
where they'd raise the thing, put your head and things in, and then they'd lower it.
Okay,
And
yep.
you get hassled by all your townspeople, your
Yep.
neighbors, throw rocks and apples and things at you.
Right.
Or it means a place you can attach something. So even though you're in a cell with a giant iron door,
Yep.
there was an attachment where you could have your shackles attached to the wall with a big iron ring.
That would explain.
So you couldn't get out easily, even if you could open the door.
Right.
So that's where jug cells came from.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because there was a bunch of people over at the little sign there, so we weren't able to get to it.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, I just want to go in.
Yeah. So that door right there, that's the only opening for getting into the mine.
Oh.
Around the corner is the well, where water would be lowered
So
down.
that's where they would lower water, food, whatever?
No, just water.
Just water.
And then for food, they would feed them breakfast and dinner, and that was it.
Yeah, I seen the meals, the menu.
The omelet station and the carving station with the turkey and the beef.
Yeah, I
It
was
seems
like,
like they ate pretty
Sunday's
well.
filet mignon.
exactly.
So it was a real fun place to be. You can imagine the bed bugs, the lice, and did you read about the running toilets and showers in the mine?
No.
No,
What was
you
that?
didn't, because there weren't any.
There wasn't any.
So at 2 a.m. when the guys got up to, how shall we say, relieve themselves, not a fun place to be.
They're more than constitutional.
That's the one.
That's the one. Let's go inside. Those knots?
The only door remaining in the original prison. This is the only door.
It's a door?
Yeah.
That's crazy. They don't make things like they used to. This is a view right here. I'm telling you. Like the backyard scene. What is this? Of the woods?
This massive door is believed to come the 4-story cell block. And here's the carving. It's just massive. heyday. Name of convicts. So their crimes included horse stealing. There's a couple horse stealing, attempted rape, burglary, attempted murder, passing counterfeit coin.
Huh.
1782, a fire probably set by the inmates destroyed the prison's wooden buildings for the third time.
So here we are back at Newgate, and I didn't get any footage on the backside, so I'd like to get some footage. Everywhere I go, I always see getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. Time is 8:20 at night. Should have brought some mosquito repellent. Should have brought some mosquito repellent. In the woods. I don't know how far this goes. door. This is a really old place. Wicked cool. Bugs galore. Look at these walls. Looks like an old foundation right here.
Yeah. This is a big lake.
Yeah, it's probably trash. I'm not gonna go all over the place here. Just looking at this rock wall here. This thing is huge. Huh?
Path ends here.
Yeah, but it goes down here for whatever reason. I don't know where that goes. And I tell you what, I'm not following. Look at this. Look at all the rocks fell. Look at this wall here. And then the rocks fell. And that wall goes down a ways. We'll head back. We'll have to do it like a day trip. This is some really good footage right here.
It looks really cool, the wall with the bars.
Yeah.
There's nothing behind it. So
You can see the guard's house. Just the tip of it.
Heard some kind of screaming. Just about a minute ago, no lie.
Were you recording?
There it is. You hear it?
Yeah.